I just figured I'd videotape my reflection of the clinical placements. First, I'd like to talk about the placement at La Crescent Middle School, where I worked within the at-risk classroom. This was definitely interesting for me because I've never actually taken the time to really see what goes on in the classroom. And first 2 days, I just kind of sat there and observed. I wasn't 100% sure like what went on in the when they take students out of the class. So this was a good eye opener, I guess, for me. I had some pros and cons about it. Some cons were just I don't know really how I feel about how they were allowed to have their iPods or their phones out whenever they wanted, and yeah, they could kind of just do what they wanted. If they wanted to sit there the whole time, they could. And this just was shocking to me. I thought there would be a lot more structure in getting them back on track, but it was more just the fact that it was better to have them in the classroom than to drop out of school. So, which makes sense. It was just hard to grasp. And then what the program consisted of was it was a way for the students to earn their credits so that they could graduate and get their high school diploma. They could kind of do this at their own pace, and just as long as they got it done and didn't drop out was the main goal, which I guess is a positive. But at the same time, I pictured it to be a lot more structured, and I think it would, I don't know, be more beneficial if someone was more on top of them and pushed them, and I don't know. But that was just my experience there. The third day I got to actually sit down and work side by side with this student and help him with his history homework. And this was really cool because there was a writing portion in this assignment where he got to write a page on his own, and I guess the other teacher in the room was just really shocked that he wrote it because she never could get him to write anything for her. So it made me feel pretty good, the fact that he wrote up this page and he asked me to read it for him, and I don't know. It was a really well written paper, and I don't know. I think just having that support next to him and just knowing I just kept encouraging him and told him that he could do it, and I think just having someone show that they care and that they believe in you, you can get some really good quality work out of these students. They just need the push. So yeah, that was my experience there, and this just shows in my classroom that I really just want to make sure my students care and that I'm gonna push them, and I want to work with them in any way I can, and hopefully not send them out of the classroom because I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I want to continue working with them, and I don't know. So I think once you get outside the classroom, you kind of just you get comfortable there, and there's not really any drive to want to get back into the regular classroom. So I think just a goal of mine is to not use that as an outlet and to really push myself to get the students who aren't really trying as hard to really just listen to them and talk to them and figure out kind of what's going on in their life, and if it's personal issues that there is going on, that maybe they can open up to me, and that we can get to the bottom of it, and I can help them continue to succeed in the classroom. So that is my reflection on my first clinical placement, and my second one was at the Ho Chunk Learning Center. This was awesome. I truly loved going there. I still wish I had time in my schedule to go there because I I loved working with the students. They were such a joy. My first time going was just sitting and talking with Elizabeth, who is a great individual. She is very strong-hearted and very bold in what she believes in, and it was fun listening and having conversations with her, and just going back and forth on our beliefs and where we stood with things and what our goals for what we wanted to see like implemented into a classroom and stuff like that. So yeah, I got a lot of insight out of her, so it was really nice talking with her. And then my pretty much my second through fourth time going, I actually got some hands-on experience with the students, and this was great. The first time I went in, it was actually their spring break, so this was a great way for me to just connect with the students that were there, because it was just pretty much free time. None of them had homework, so they got to play video games and do art activities and play cards and games and pretty much just to have fun. So this was a great opportunity for me to get to know them in a fun, comfortable setting where they didn't have the stress of homework and stuff like that. So I pretty much spent various hours playing video games and, just starting up conversation and asking the kids how they enjoyed school and their thoughts on that, and just trying to get deeper into their life and trying to understand kind of how they feel when they're at school and if they feel like they belong and stuff like that. So that was really enjoyable for me to just sit down and have those conversations with them. I also got to go to a park with them, and with me, I'm a kid at heart, so I go to a park. I'm not the one who just sits there and watches them. I love to get up and play too, so I got to push them on the swing and the tire swing, which was really fun, and they kept saying, "Miss Nicole, can you push us?" And it was just really fun, like having them be excited that I was there, and I don't know, have them look up to me and stuff. So yeah, that was a good way to get to know a lot of them. And then the next couple times I went in, it was more, we got to help them with homework and sit down and do more so like academic stuff. So, and it was nice because I already got to know them, so they knew who I was and they trusted in me to help them, and got to help a student with some literacy homework, and actually got to use some of my skills that I learned from one of my other classes that I'm taking this semester, and yeah, use some of those strategies to help him read a story. And then in addition, I looked into Native Americans' thoughts on homosexuals, and this was just very eye-opening and shocking to me that they actually view that as like a good thing. I don't know. It's really hard to think that anyone would view that or have that view, because like our society just constantly looks at it as a negative thing, and it's, yeah, I don't know. So that was really cool. And then also getting to look into some lessons and ways to integrate Native American culture into some math lessons. I did a lot of research on ethnomathematics and just gained a lot of insight on that. And yeah, so overall I had a great experience at Ho Chunk, and if I get a chance next semester, I would really like to be a person that can go in and help them on their days if they need volunteers, or just go in and spend some time with the kids. So overall, I feel that I am so much more culturally competent, and I am constantly thinking about how, I don't know, just when I go through my day now, I think about my perceptual filter, and if I ever catch myself thinking something that, is just a thought or like a judgment, I tell myself to stop, and I like make sure I don't think things like that, because you actually need to get to know a person and not cast judgment. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that I've learned within the classroom and just through my clinical experience that I definitely will take into my own classroom one day. And yeah, I really enjoyed the class a lot. So thank you for everything and all your insight and knowledge that you casted on us. It goes much appreciated.